staff, and Wire reports April 7, 2018 the Browns traded their third quarterback of the offseason, sending 25-year-old Kevin Hogan to the Redskins. The teams announced the deal that includes swapping sixth-round picks. Cleveland acquires the 188th pick from Washington for number 205, which it previously acquired from New England for cornerback Jason McCourty. Hogan follows Cody Kessler and DeShone Kizer out the door in Cleveland. The Browns acquired cornerback Damarius Randall as part of the Kizer trade with Green Bay that included flip-flopping fifth-round picks, and got a 2019 seventh-rounder from Jacksonville for Kessler. Cleveland, which has the first overall pick in the draft, also traded with Buffalo for Tyrod Taylor, the expected starter, and signed veteran Drew Stanton to a two-year deal. Panthers three-time Pro Bowl linebacker Thomas Davis said he has been suspended by the NFL and will miss the first 4 games of next after testing positive for a banned substance. Davis posted a video on Twitter saying that he tested positive for an estrogen blocker. "I was completely caught off guard by this," said the 35-year-old Davis. "I have never done anything to intentionally try to cheat the game. It's one of those situations where the NFL rules are clear. They state that you are responsible for what you put into your body." Davis, a former Walter Payton Man of the Year award winner, said he has been taking the same supplements for the last 7 or 8 years and never had any issues. The Titans' Steve Watterson, the NFL assistant with the longest consecutive tenure with the same team, finally is retiring after 32 years. Hockey: the NHL may need to go to a one-game playoff. If the Flyers and Panthers are even in points, regulation wins, overtime wins, and goal differential at the end of they will play a one-game tiebreaker to determine who goes to the playoffs. The NHL announced the unlikely but possible tiebreaker Friday as Philadelphia had one game and Florida 2 remaining. For the tiebreaker to happen Tuesday, the Flyers' 96 points would need to lose their regular season finale Saturday against the Rangers by exactly 2 goals, and the Panthers' 92 points would need to beat the Senators and the Bruins in a shootout Saturday and Sunday. In that case, Philadelphia and Florida would each have 39 regulation, overtime wins, and a +1 goal differential over since a shootout victory counts as a goal. The teams split their series, which by rule eliminates the odd game between them to even out home ice, and the league does not have any further tiebreakers. This most recently happened in 2000 when the NHL announced Montreal and Buffalo would play a tie-breaking game if they finished the tied for the final spot in the East. It did not come down to that, but it's the precedent the league used to make this decision. College basketball: Arizona basketball coach Sean Miller could face a $1 million penalty if he is charged with a crime or commits a major NCAA violation, according to amendments to his contract approved by the Arizona Board of Regents. The Arizona Daily Star reported that the Regents also added a provision detailing Miller's obligations as a responsible employee under Title IX, which includes reporting requirements, cooperation with investigations, and participation in Title IX training. Miller, who is under contract through the 2021-22, agreed to the changes, said athletic director Dave Heek. The changes comes in the wake of an ESPN story that said Miller and a sports agent discussed a $100,000 payment to Arizona freshman DeAndre Ayton, and 7 months after the FBI arrested assistant coach Buck Richardson as part of a larger investigation of corruption in college basketball. Miller vehemently denied the report. Jalen Brunson of national champion Villanova and A'ja Wilson of South Carolina won the John R. Wooden Award as the men's and women's National College Basketball Players of the Year. Kentucky freshman forward Kevin Knox says he will enter the NBA draft and hire an agent. Knox's departure was somewhat expected after the 6'9" player averaged a team-high 15.6 points while leading the Wildcats to the Sweet 16 in the NCAA tournament. Also definitely going pro are Alabama point guard Colin Sexton, and Kansas guard LaGerald Vick. Among those declaring for the draft, who are not hiring an agent so to retain their eligibility, include Auburn point guard Jared Harper, Stanford forward Red Travis. Baseball: Brewers All-Star closer Corey Knebel was placed on the 10-day disabled list and is expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks because of a strained left hamstring. Knebel was walking with a limp Friday, a day after he was injured while pitching against St. Louis in the 9th inning with the Brewers trailing by 6 runs. Knebel had a 1.78 ERA and 39 saves in 45 chances last year, supplanting Neftali Feliz as closer in early May. Nebel struck out 126, tying the Red Sox' Craig Kimbrel for the most among Major League relievers, and set a big league record by opening the with at least one strikeout in 45 consecutive games. Nebel blew a save chance on opening day, struck out the side and getting a save at San Diego the following day, then didn't get in a game up Thursday. He entered in the ninth inning with the Brewers trailing by 6 runs. Phil Coyne, the oldest usher in the major leagues, is calling it a career after 81 years on the job. The Pirates announced that the 99-year-old Coyne, who has been working home games for the organization since 1936, will not return this. He turns 100 later this month. Soccer David Chung abruptly resigned as FIFA's senior vice president and a member of its ruling council, after an audit of the Oceania Confederation he led found potential irregularities on a $20 million building project, and funding was cut to the region by soccer's world governing body. Chung quit after 7 years as president of the Oceania Football Confederation for what were described as personal reasons. FIFA acknowledged later in the day it has concerns about the management of the OFC under Chung but did not accuse him of wrongdoing. The resignation followed an investigation ordered by FIFA into the construction of a headquarters for the OFC in Auckland, New Zealand. FIFA, which provided $16.8 million in funding to the OFC in 2017, would not say whether any specific individuals are being investigated. Tennis. In a tennis match lasting 3 hours, 14 minutes, John Isner beat Joris A. Law, 6-3, 6-7, 4-7, 7, 6-1-0, 8, 6-4, as the United States took a 2-0 lead over Belgium in the Davis Cup quarter-finals in Nashville. Sam Querrey followed with a straight-set victory, beating Ruben Bemelmans, 6-1, 7, 6, 7, 5, 7-5, to put the Americans a victory away from reaching the semi-finals for the first time since 2012. Rafael Nadal returned to action after a long injury layoff, comfortably defeating Philipp Kohlschreiber, 6-2, 6-2, 6-3, to leave Spain even with Germany in the Davis Cup quarter-finals in Valencia, Spain. It was the 23rd straight win for Nadal since 2005, setting the Davis Cup record. Combining singles and doubles, the top-ranked Nadal hadn't played since the Australian Open quarter-finals because of a right hip injury, and was never challenged by Kohlschreiber at the Bullring staging the clay court event. Germany won the opening singles when world number 4 Alexander Zverev defeated David Ferrer, 6-4, 6-2, 6-2. Julia Gerges continued her strong by defeating defending champion Daria Kasatkina to reach the semi-finals of the Volvo Car Open in Charleston, South Carolina. Madison Keys, the U.S. Open runner-up last year, also advanced, prevailing in an All-American match with Bernarda Pera, 6-2, 6-7, 5-7, 7-5. Miscellany. Stewart Haas Racing drivers Kurt Busch, Kevin Harvick, and Clint Bowyer will start in the top 3 spots at Texas Motor Speedway after a weather-shortened qualifying session in Fort Worth. Busch, Harvick, and Bowyer were the fastest in the first round of qualifying, but the second and third rounds never took place. There was initially a delay because of lightning in the area soon after the first round had been completed to determine the top 24 drivers. The second and third rounds of qualifying were eventually cancelled because of more lightning and threatening weather. Newly hired East Tennessee State football coach Randy Sanders will receive a letter of reprimand and will lose 1 week's pay after slapping a player's helmet during a practice last week. Athletic director Scott Carter announced Sanders' punishment Friday and said the coach has been reinstated following a university review of the March 30 incident. Sanders, a co-offensive coordinator at Florida State had been on paid administrative leave during the review. According to the university review, the incident occurred as Etsu was practicing Hail Mary drills near the end of practice.